Hello guys, welcome once again to Mark Tech Keyboard Tutorials. My name is Mark Prince at MKT, and it's been a wonderful journey so far. If you are still with us, then I'm pretty much sure you've learned something. But before then, let me tell you something real quick. If you want to know how to play the keyboard really well, 1, you need to be committed. 2, you need to have time. And then 3, you need to constantly rehearse just to be able to build your dexterity on the keyboard and stuff. And one more thing, whatever you learn in a certain key, try as much as possible to apply it to another key, and that's what makes you a good keyboard player. We're going to talk about chord progression. It's just the movement from one chord to another, to another, to another, to another, to another, and then thereof. Just create a sequence, a loop, and whatever have you. We're going to actually combine 4 chords. It's actually in 3 groups: chord progression 1, progression 2, and then progression 3. The first one is going to be in C, because that's the easiest key to see from. We're going to actually select 4 chords from the scale of C, and the first chord C, second chord, third, fourth, fifth, 6th, 7th, and then 8th. And we're going to select 4 of these chords and then create a loop and make it sound more musical. And then if we can insert in songs, we will do so and listen to what we've got. And our first progression is C, that's chord number 1. Chord number 2 is D minor. Our chord number 3 is F major. And then our last chord, or our 4th chord, is G major. That's what we're going to use to create the loop or the progression. F major. Already you will get in the music in the chord progression that I just played. Hear it. What we're going to do now is we're going to play octaves with the left hand and chords with the right hand. And if you've got no idea of what octaves are, you can go back and watch the previous lesson. There is much details there, so we can actually get something like that. You can insert in some stuff and then arpeggios and stuff. We're going to talk about arpeggios and inversions later, but it's not going to be in this lesson. That will be later in the subsequent lessons. But you can interchange it, arrange it in different forms just to make it more different from this one. Then that's what makes you a good learner. When you learn, you should be able to apply it and then create your own stuff. You can 1, 2, 4, 5. You can make it 1, 4, 5, 2. You can make it, just arrange it in a way that will make sense to you. And let me insert in a song and see if it's going to work. Because we've not inverted any of the chords and stuff, it sounds very basic. Like, what is he playing? Like that? Come on. But as a beginner, you need to learn this and then build your dexterity. Alright, rehearse more, and the more you rehearse, it builds your muscle memory. Just rehearse. As a beginner, these are what you should be doing now. Okay? Inversions and stuff, you could clearly tell the differences. So as a beginner, you need to learn, and then 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, 1. So that's our chord chord progression number 1. Let's move on to chord progression number 2. And our chord progression number 2 says our first chord is F minor, our second chord is A flat, our third chord is E flat, and our last chord is D flat. F minor, A flat, and then E flat, and finally D flat. Okay. And if you don't know how to form these chords, you can watch my previous lesson on chord formation, how to form chords and stuff. So we're going to play the bass with the left hand and then play the chords with our right hand, octaves on left. This is in root position. When it is in root position, it's easier to tell, right? Because it is the first note, so like that you can easily identify. But when I play like this or like this, it's very difficult to identify. We will talk about inversions later in any subsequent videos. Don't get yourself confused. So, like that. You can change it in your style. Right. Just rehearse that. That's chord progression number 2. And if you want it to sound more like Adele's real song, you can add in stuff. As a beginner, you could try this, right? And to the little bit advanced, you can play something like this. And this one sounds more like Adele's real song. Hello, it's me. So let's move on from chord progression number 2 to chord progression number 3. And this one we are going back to C. It is the easiest of all. Most of Ghanaian and Nigerian artists use this chord progression. It's very simple, just that they add in some, some sauce and stuff to make it more spicy. Our first chord is C, right? C. Our first chord is C. Our second chord is G major. Our third chord is A minor, and our last chord is F major. Alright, so like that. 1, 5, 6, 4. So I call it 1, 5, 6, 4 chord progression. And that one too, you can spice it up. Find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you. Don't forget me, I beg. I remember you said. So you can try it in different songs and then stuff, and then make it your own. You can rearrange it 1, 5 like that. You can rearrange it and then make it your own, make it yours. All right, now to the little bit advanced, instead of the octaves, we are adding the fifth to it and make it sound more heavier. All right, you can actually add in some things, some passing chords and then stuff, and make it more interesting, right? Right? You can add in some passing chords. Any chord that you have, you can insert in, but the progression is still like that. Like that. Okay. Let's add in a bit and see what we can get. Oh, that is very spicy. Let me reduce the tempo. Like that. Wow, that's very spicy. the chord progression number 3. Our progression number 1, C, D minor, F, and then G. Our chord progression number 2, F minor, A flat, E flat, and then D flat. Our chord progression number 3, C, G, A flat, and then F major. So that will be it for the chord progression. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel for more updates, and then don't forget to like and share on Facebook as well. See you in the next tutorial. Au revoir. Bye bye.